Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Today, we go over Jeff Ireland, who is a GM candidate. We also go over the first set of draft picks that we're going to profile this year for the Detroit Lions. We're going to go over some quarterbacks, your comment cards, news and rumors from the Detroit Lions, a dessert with Curt. And speaking of Curt, I'm going to throw it to my main man, the man of steel himself, Curt Steele.
Hey, what up, dude? Welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We are your home for Detroit Lions news. You know how we do it. And join us weekdays, 11 a.m. right here on our YouTube channel for the premiere of the show. And you can live chat with us right there. Join the super chat so you can get your comments right up front where you want them to be. And join the family. Subscribe to the channel. Comment on the videos, like the videos, share the videos, answer the question of the day. All of these things help us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. And let's get this thing started
right now.
Right now.
Welcome back to the show, and we're going to get right to the content right now, and Curt's going to tell us about Jeff Ireland.
Well, Jeff Ireland is a 50-year-old guy. He is out of the College of Baylor. That's where he went to school. Him and his wife, Rachel, have 4 kids. Here's some of his experience in the league. All right, so going back to 1990s, from 1993, he was the University of North Texas special teams coach. Then from 94 to 96, he was a scout for the NFL Combine. From 97 to 2000, he was a regional scout for the Kansas City Chiefs. In 01 to 04, he was the Dallas Cowboys national scout. From 04 to 05, he was the vice president of college and pro scouting for the Cowboys. Then in 2008, he was hired by to be the general manager by the Miami Dolphins until 2013. In 2014, he had 1 year with the Seattle Seahawks as a draft consultant. And then in 2015, he took over his current position as New Orleans Saints assistant GM and the director of college scouting. Now, here's a few notes on him. Childhood ball boy for the Chicago Bears, was a place kicker for Baylor from 88 to 91. He holds the records for the longest kick at the school at 58 yards.
Wow.
He drafted 4 Pro Bowlers for Dallas. Roy Williams, the safety, not the Roy Williams from the Lions, not that guy. Yeah, Terrence Newman, Andre Garrard, and Jason Witten. So here is some family ties he has to the league. Stepson to college football Hall of Famer E.J. Holub, grandson to Jim Palmer, who played for the Eagles and was a personnel executive for the Chicago Bears. Now, here's a couple of interesting stories. Now, I lived in Oklahoma during the late 90s, early 2000s, and I remember watching a couple of players in that time there, and one of them was Dez Bryant. So here is one interesting story that I'm not too pleased with Mr.
Yep.
Ireland. Okay, Ireland asked Dez Bryant at the Combine if his mom was a prostitute.
Oh my gosh, that was
at the Combine.
Oh wow.
Ireland claimed that Dez had previously stated his mom works for his dad, and his dad was a pimp. Dez denied having said any of this.
God, I remember that.
I remember that quote. I remember because that sent shockwaves to the league but it was never disclosed who actually asked the question. It just said a member of the scouting department for the Dallas Cowboys asked Dez Bryant, was his mom a prostitute? That's
blockbuster
horrible.
Story.
That's really horrible. And then another one while he was working at the Dolphins, and it was the whole that Jonathan Martin and what's that? Richie Incognito.
Yep.
There was the incident where they, if you don't remember that, Richie Incognito was accused of by Martin for calling him a racial slur down there and bullying during practices down there. So it says that the lineman, Jonathan Martin, who was the alleged bully, the one who was getting bullied, came to Ireland and said, he was being bullied, and Ireland suggested that he just punched the other player. It was like, and what? So just suggested the physical violence. He pretty much suggested he assault Richard Incognito.
That's terrible.
I mean, you're grown men. I mean, this is football. I mean, I get it. It's a physical game, and it's things that, people just think, oh, you just handle like a man and take him outside and let's just go handle it with the fisticuffs. Everything's, the NFL is a business.
It is.
And suggesting someone just punch somebody in the face is telling that person to pretty much commit an assault on another player on your team.
I come to a GM and I ask him to resolve a problem because I feel bullied.
Yeah. And
this is the response I get from an NFL franchise.
Yeah, I don't get that at all. So the news broke of that news, and Dolphins fans were not happy. They actually started a hashtag that says Fireland, which means Fire Ireland. So
this is a hard no for me.
Just looking at the background of this, and this is how you look at even the thing that happened with Des Bryant was, I say 20 years ago, but you're looking at, not even, a decade, not even a decade ago, he was still, with these shenanigans. I don't even know what he's, how he's handling stuff at New Orleans.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't like the baggage.
Know. Yeah. That's a lot of baggage. I don't want my GM asking a draft pick if his mom was a prostitute.
And that was a huge story, but I don't remember them ever telling us who it was until just now.
Yeah,
that's the first time I've heard of who it was.
Who that was. I remember the statement that he was getting. He got to ask that question in the combine.
I did.
That really turns me off from this guy. 100%.
Does me too. I hope he doesn't get hired. He's getting interviewed, but I hope he doesn't get hired.
With the Richard Incognito thing as well. I mean, I would say this about that. Richard Incognito, he has been a problem at teams. I know he's a excellent offensive lineman, but he has issues and he had to go to rehab and just some of the things that he's done. But you just don't tell a player to go assault another player. That's just crazy.
You're coming for the organization to sanction
help.
It to to take care of the problem, and then you do that. It's just ridiculous. We're gonna start. This is the first
buddy,
in a series of NFL Draft 2021. We're going to go into Trevor Lawrence. Now, before I do this, I know there's a lot of Lions fans out there that are going to say, well, he's going to go number 1 to Jacksonville, and we have no chance of getting Trevor Lawrence. Well, you know what? We haven't even had the combine yet. It's only early January. We don't know his injuries or anything that could come up in his past. I don't know if there is, and there probably isn't. But we're going to go through and do our due diligence and let you know about each of these quarterbacks today. We have 3 of them today. And the first is Trevor Lawrence. He's 21 years old. He was born in Knoxville, Tennessee. His college, of course, is Clemson. He's been there for 3 years. His parents are Jeremy and Amanda, and he's one of 3 children. He is 6'6", 220 pounds, big guy. 2018, named the starter after week 4. Passed for over 3,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. Undefeated season, defeated Notre Dame in the and beat Alabama in the national championship game. So in 2019, he was named ACC Player of the Year, passed for 3,600 yards and 36 touchdowns, and he also had 500 yards rushing. Lawrence lost the first game of his career to LSU in the college football playoffs. Wow. Okay, so 2020. Over 3,100 yards passing, 24 touchdowns in a crazy COVID season. He still managed to lead his team to the college football playoff championship game. So Trevor Lawrence is the real deal in some of his awards and highlights of his career. 2018 college football playoff champion and offensive MVP, 3-time ACC champion, 2020 Heisman runner-up, 2020 ACC Player of the Year, ACC Offensive Player of the Year, 2018 ACC Rookie of the Year, 2-time first All-ACC. 2018, he won the Archie Griffin Award. In 2017, USA Today High School Player of the Year. 2017, USA Today High School All-American. Now, Trevor is an active Christian and has been prominent in social justice issues such as the Black Lives Matter movement. Recently got engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Marissa Maury. And he just, you know what? He's got a good, clean background. He's a really good quarterback. I don't have a comparison really, but he does sound like Stafford with wheels.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What is that? Looking at him, I mean, he's been compared. People have called him Sunshine from Remember the Titans. That movie.
Yes, they did. The long hair.
With the long hair.
Sunshine.
I think he's an excellent athlete. He's big. He can throw the ball. He's pretty accurate. I mean, he's a winner. I mean, there's not a lot to say about him other than that. I mean, he's an excellent player. He's a good leader on that team. He's socially conscious. So there's a lot of good things about him that he's already graduated from Clemson already. So graduated in 3 years. So, I mean, the kids, he's a pretty good quarterback. Arguably the number one ranked player in the draft, not just quarterback.
Right. Do we think the Lions will get him? More than likely not, but you never know. We've seen Aaron Rodgers drop. We've seen, Mahomes.
We've seen crazier things happen. Yeah. So let's get into the next guy. Oh, Justin Fields. All right. My man, Justin Fields is also 21 years old. He was a transfer to the University of Ohio State from the University of Georgia. So that's where he went to school. If you know his career, he started out at Georgia, kind of fell on a depth chart, then he switched to Ohio State. 6'3", 228. So another big guy. So his experience, he had 328 yards at Georgia in 2018 to 4 touchdowns. Then he transferred Ohio State. So in 2019, he had 3,200 passing yards, 41 touchdowns with a 67% completion rate. In 2020, he was even better. Even only through 6 games, he had 1,900 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, and a 73% completion rate. That is accurate as all get out.
It really is.
Wow. Okay, so looking at his awards, 2019, he was the Heisman Trophy finalist, 2-time Graham George Offensive Player of the Year for 2019, 2020, 2-time Brian Greasy Quarterback of the Year in the Big Ten. 2019, he was a second-team All-American, first-team All-Pro, All Big Ten in 2019, 2020, 2-time Big Ten champion 2019, 2020, and the Big Ten championship MVP for 2020 as well. Note, senior year was documented in Netflix series QB1 Beyond the Lights and was a 5-star recruit going into college, the highest rated dual quarterback by the scouts over at ESPN. Now, very accomplished young man.
Got some wheels too.
Got some wheels, can run you over, can run past you.
Yep.
So
dual threat.
The only issue with him is that, he has that knee issue, with that big brace, he had that knee injury a few years ago. So that's my one takeaway from him, that I would be like, okay, if he gets popped in that knee again, how is it going to react? Because athletes in the NFL are bigger and stronger than they are just in the Big Ten.
And we're going to go into Zach Wilson now. He is probably a fan favorite at this point. He's a quarterback I really like and think that we have an opportunity to draft. I believe we got a shot at him at 7. We'll see. But there's other teams that have other needs. So I think that it could work out that way. And by the way, me and Curt will have some mock drafts coming up. Not quite yet, but we will be getting into those at some point in the future. That's going to be a lot of fun. So Zach Wilson's 21 years old. He's at BYU. He is 6'3", 210 pounds. Boy, they grow these quarterbacks kind of big, don't they?
Yeah.
They eating over there.
Yeah.
2018, as a true freshman, Wilson started 7 of 9 games, passed for 1,578 yards and 12 touchdowns. 2019, some of this I didn't like. So sophomore Wilson started 9 games. He passed for 2,382 yards, 11 touchdowns, but he had 9 interceptions. So, not a great year. I would almost call that a sophomore slump.
Yeah, down year.
But 2020, Wilson started 12 games as a junior, passed for 3,692 yards, 33 touchdowns, and only 3 interceptions.
That's pretty good.
He had a really, really good year. His highlights and awards: 2018 famous Idaho, if I could talk, Potato Bowl MVP, the Hawaii Bowl MVP in 2019, the Boca Raton Bowl offensive MVP in 2020. So he's an MVP.
Racking up those awards, huh?
he got some awards, but I think this is a thing with, I think he could fall to the Lions. It's possible. Yeah. I think they could trade up for him. Why do I think that they need to pick a quarterback in the first round? Why are we doing quarterbacks? We're going to do a bunch of different positions. We started with the quarterback position because I think we need to groom somebody under Matt Stafford, whether that's at the 7th pick or it's a 2nd round, 3rd round, whatever it is. If Stafford stays, which I think is likely next year, we need to sign the quarterback of the future. We need to draft the quarterback of the future now. And that's why we're going through these guys and stuff like that for you. Any comments on Zach Wilson? What do you think about Zach?
Zach Wilson's an interesting character as far as, playing out there for BYU. I think he's a nice young talent. He is also a kind of a dual threat. He has some good wheels. He can run as well. And that is the direction of most teams with their quarterbacks. I mean, most people, if you look at Patrick Mahomes, and he's the kind of measuring stick for young quarterbacks, people really don't see his athleticism. Patrick Mahomes can run as well. He just doesn't do it as often as everyone else because he doesn't have to because of his arm talent. But he has the wheels. He can run as well. So he's a good athlete. You think about, where the quarterback position is headed, and I think that all of these guys fit that mold of that kind of a dual threat where they can run and pass the ball.
I totally agree with that. I completely agree with you. And I think I like this kid. I think for me, he fits us best. That's just what I think. Because I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be gone. I'm not sure about Justin Fields. Based on the injury and the medicals and stuff that comes back, he could fall. I mean, he could fall.
Yeah, he could fall, especially with that knee injury he had a few years ago. That's pretty serious.
There's something about Zach Wilson I like the best out of those quarterbacks. Now we have Trey Lance yet and a couple others that we're going to do in the next few days. But given the people that we have today, I like Zach Wilson for us, and I think he could fall to us. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. All right, now it's time to go into your comments, the comment cards from yesterday. Jim, you up first.
Crazy Lions fan, one pride all day. I don't care who the GM is. I just want to bring respectability back to Detroit. I totally agree with that.
I got you on that one. All right. Next up, Samoa. Big up to Samoa. Aloha. I hope that Stafford retires in Detroit.
Me too.
Okay. Me three.
So PC Palo, what's up, boys? I hope you both had a nice holiday. Nice to be back after being MIA for the past week. Totally agree about the refs. You're either biased or completely blind not to see it. Even the guys calling the games openly disagree with the calls. Yes, I see that too. Don't you, Curt?
This is very true.
Even they'll bring in the experts and stuff. Either channel, and they're both like, I don't know why they did this. I have no idea why this happened. So that's all good.
Even when they go to the experts that's in the studio, what did you think about this call? Well, I would have called up that way, and then next or they're doing a review. Well, I think he completed the catch. I don't see why it should be overturned. And then there's a no catch. Speaking of the Marvin Jones touchdown,
exactly,
that cost him 1,000-yard season and cost him the best game of his career. And next up, Dag the Gur says, nice work, guys. Patricia dumped Slay and drafted Okuda in a make or break year. So I'm not surprised he made Jeff play. I agree with that 100%.
I do too.
Because you let your Pro Bowl, All Pro defensive back, go trade him to the Eagles, and you had to make this high draft pick play because of the fact that you let Slay walk out the door.
Cryptopher says that head coach first isn't the norm, but somebody like Salah there, the precedent has already been set. He has links to a few GMs, including Ed Dodds from his previous interviews. So it would surprise me if Salah isn't signed by Friday and then the GM soon after that. Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I don't want to keep going the same way all the time, and change is good. Let's try it. And nothing else has worked.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, I love that comment.
All right, last comment. Agent Friday. What up, Agent Friday? I don't know, fellas. The idea that the ownership wants to hire a GM and a coach may hint that they may want to keep Daryl Bevell. I mean, why not let your GM make the hire?
I don't think it's because of Bevell. I really don't.
Yeah,
I think they have their eye on somebody and they don't want someone else to snatch them up.
Yep.
Because you said this last show, and I totally agree with it. The GM pool is a lot bigger, has more depth than the coaching pool. So if you feel like your guy is going to get taken up, you may need to get the coach first. Yeah. So I totally agree with that comment. We're going to go on to the news and rumors, but before I do, I want to highlight somebody that's helping us out. Just started with us. He has the right staff and he's the right stuff. It's Chris Wright. He is our intern that has been helping us with the comment cards and the stats and the research, and he's done a really good job. We want to praise him, for this for doing
what
all
up,
this
Chris?
For us.
Hey, my Chris. My man Chris goes to the school I graduated from, so big shout out to my guys over at Full Sail and the Dan Practice School of Sportscasting for allowing me to get my man Chris on board with the show. I know he's doing his studies. He's an online student. So welcome to the program, Chris. We appreciate everything you do for us right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl.
Yeah, he's the right guy for the job.
Yeah, he's right.
All right. News and rumors. We don't have much today. The Texans hired Nick Casario as the new GM, and that means there's 6 vacancies still left. So they hired someone that wasn't even on our radar. So they didn't pick anybody we wanted. So we're good with that.
Yeah, pretty much. And that the GM pool is so deep with these amount of vacancies that we have out there. Now that like we said, the head coaching ones, that's not as deep. All right. Who succeeds more in the NFL? Offensive minded coaches or defensive minded coaches? All right. For 4 of the last 6 years, defensive-minded coaches has finished with a better overall record. For the other 2, including a huge disparity in 2018, offenses reigned supreme. So there doesn't seem to be a current trend in either direction. So basically, what we're saying here is that is sometimes it depends on the person. Sometimes you're going to get an offensive guy who's going to do good. Sometimes you're going to get a defensive guy who does good. Just think about some of the big names in coaching, like McVay out there. He's an offensive guru and he's been doing good. But or Kyle Shanahan. But then you have guys that are defensive minded coaches, say like Mike Vrabel. He's doing awesome out there in Tennessee. So it's just going to really depend on the teams and how they perform, not who the coach is.
I think let's find a leader.
Yep.
Let's find a leader of men, and then let's do that. And I like that idea. Question of the day. The question of the day today is, do you think the Lions should pick a quarterback with the 7th overall pick? Or do you think that they should wait until the later rounds and develop them under Stafford? Right. So it's kind of a twofold question. I mean, you have to say that Stafford would be here for a length of time if you're going to pick somebody in the later rounds and try to develop them. Or do you think you want a more NFL ready quarterback in the top with that 7th pick overall if we get one of the 4 or 5 that are the top 4 or 5 in the draft? So, so that's the question of the day for today. And now it is my favorite time of this whole show, the Dessert with Curt.
All right. You know what it is, people. It's time for some tasty morsels to end the meal. And it's a shout out to big number 95. Romeo Okwara. Okay, guess what he did this year? He finished the season with double-digit sacks, which is 10, right? So not only does that number 10 represent how many sacks he had for the season, that shows that where he finished overall in the league in sacks at number 10. So he had 10 sacks, and he made him the number 10th ranked sack leader in the NFL for the season. So big shout out to Romeo Okwara. We need to bring you back in the fold. So hopefully we can get your sign in the offseason so the Okwara brothers can rule and reign supreme on that defensive line for the Lions for some years to come.
Man, I just appreciate each and every one of you who rock with us, especially at 11 a.m. when we have our premieres. Thank you for being there. Thank you for commenting and interacting with us. I want to give a special shout out again to Chris Wright, who is helping us with our stuff. And, he really does a good job, really doing a great job for us. Really appreciate him. We're bringing new people on into the family. So that's going to be, we'll announce that when it happens. But today, just appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to throw it to Curt for the end of the show.
All right. Hey, you know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news. Join us each day, like Jim said, 11 o'clock right here on our channel for the premieres. You can comment, super chat, everything right there in the premiere. Like the videos, comment on the videos, share the videos, everything that is encompassing gets this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. And I would be remiss if I did not bring up something. If you watch those events that happened yesterday at our nation's capital, and I saw a couple of things online that was disturbing to me. Other than that, really take into consideration the attack on our democracy yesterday, and that's what that was. So just kind of think about that. I served in the military for 26 years, and I fought to defend the Constitution of the United States. And that was an attack yesterday on our democracy. And that is something that is terribly, terribly wrong. And I would be remiss if I did not say something. That's just not, it wasn't cool. And for those individuals who thought it was funny to kind of mirror the Lions defense to the police there at the Capitol, yeah, that wasn't funny. No. It may have gave you a chuckle, but overall, the people that were in danger, the lawmakers that were in danger yesterday, and a person lost their life yesterday. So people got hurt. 4 people lost their lives in that incident. So yeah, not so much deserving of a chuckle. And I think people, oh, just a joke. Some things aren't funny. So absolutely
the truth.
Yeah,
it was a disgrace yesterday.
It was very disgraceful, and I know you tune in to talk Lions, but there's some things that just bigger than football, bigger than Lions, and it just needs to be addressed. So for those individuals that did that yesterday, shame on you.
Absolutely.
Shame on you. All right. So, but you know what you got to do. Whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Curt Steele, and we will holler at you real soon.